Do you want more nutrient soil and healthier plants? I'll show you how to remineralize your soil and why you should do it. Depleted minerals in the soil can contribute to poor plant performance and lack of flavor. By mineralizing your garden soil, you'll improve the plant's structure, you'll also increase the resistance to pests and disease, and you'll give fruits and veggies that full-on intense flavor. Many of our soils today are lacking the important nutrients and minerals that it needs to stay healthy. We can actually think about it just like our bodies. We need a balanced diet so that we can stay healthy. Making sure that your plants have these important minerals will ensure that you're getting a nutrient-rich diet. That's a proven fact. Minerals last longer in your garden soil than macronutrients do, so a yearly application is generally adequate. And 3 to 5 pounds per 100 square foot is just fine. But if you're building new garden beds and you've got new soil, then you're probably going to want to amp that up just a little bit. So you'll want 5 to 7 pounds per 100 square foot. But always read your label and application rates before you apply. And I always like to err on the light side just to make sure I'm not overdoing it. Compost is so important, and you all know how much I love my compost. But no matter how much you use, you can't make up for mineral deficiencies. These are some of my favorite minerals that I use to remineralize my soil. Azomite's one of them. Now this one's just pumped full of all kinds of minerals, and I do like to use this occasionally. But if you have a high pH soil, then you might want to use one of the other varieties because this can raise the pH just a little bit. The other is the Gaia Glacier Green Rock Dust. That's a mouthful. I really like this one because it also has lots of minerals and it's pretty neutral for the soil, and it's a really fine micronized powder, so it breaks down a little bit faster than some of the others. The other that I like is the Cascade Minerals. Now it's just a little bit more coarse than the Gaia Glacier, and it's really nice to use every few years because it's got a nice amount of iron and calcium in it. Green sand, well, it's an upside down bag, and I hope you can read upside down, but green sand is an awesome soil amendment to be adding. This one helps with the retention of moisture, and it also helps with drainage, so it's good for all soil types, and it's loaded with lots of minerals, plus it has potash in it. Any one of these rock dusts are excellent to remineralize your soil. Now I like to pick one each year and use a different one from year to year. That way it kind of just switches up the elements. Some have a little bit more and some have a little bit less. So switching it up is actually a good thing. When we add these minerals, they react with the help of microbes in the soil to release these minerals, and that makes it to where the plants can uptake these minerals. This process doesn't happen overnight, so you can see why putting these minerals back into the soil is a low-cost investment for the long-term future of your garden. We always want to put back into the soil what's naturally taken from the soil just by growing and weathering. You can't just keep taking away from the soil without replenishing it and not expect that soil to rebel. After we clean up our garden from summer or fall and the soil is completely exposed, this is a perfect time to be amending and fixing our soil. Of course we want compost, but this is the perfect time to add our minerals to the soil while it's exposed. All of the summer crops in this bed are done, they're spent, I've cleaned them out, and now I'm just going to sprinkle my minerals right over the surface. This year I'm going to be using the Gaia Glacier Green Rock Dust. And because I've done this year after year, I'm only going to be using 3 pounds per 100 square foot. And I'm just going to simply sprinkle it over the surface. You can work this in a little bit, but I'm not going to. I like to use every opportunity I can to apply compost to my garden beds. And so now that I've applied my minerals, I'm just going to layer 1 to 2 inches of the compost over that area. And what's really nice about that is I don't have to work those minerals in. This is covering it, and that'll help them to be able to break down. At this point, you can go ahead and plant a cover crop if it's not too late in the season. This will just furthermore amend your garden soil. Or you can even plant a food crop that's appropriate for the time of year. Mulching is a really good idea if you don't plan on planting your garden. Leaves are excellent to be using in the fall time. The big thing is you don't want to leave that soil exposed. When your soil's left exposed to the elements any time of year, then it can lose its nutrients, and it also damages that soil that you've been working so hard to build up. Just put a couple of inches of mulch over the surface just to keep it protected. If you're finding value in this, give us a thumbs up and don't forget to cultivate that subscribe button. Plants can give you an idea through their symptoms of certain minerals that they're actually lacking. But you can also get your soil tested so that you can be spot on what your soil needs. As a general rule of thumb, low pH soils will need minerals more often than your high pH soils. Mineralizing soil gives plants a big boost. It really helps jumpstart those seedlings in the springtime, giving them more vigorous growth, stronger stems, better plant structure, and it makes them resistant to pests and disease. Plus, one of my favorites is better flavor and better mineral content for you. Remember, feed the soil that feeds the plants. Healthy soil makes a healthy garden. Till next time, see ya.
Right there, you can read green sand.